Good morning. My name is Shira O'Connor. I'm a principal with Conway, and I'll be moderating this morning's webinar, which will focus on Thailand's incentives and new initiatives the Thai government has put in place that benefit foreign direct investors. We have a multi-point webinar this morning. We're broadcasting from the BOI office in Bangkok, and we're also broadcasting from the Board of Investments office in New York. So we're on multi-time zones here. Welcome. You'll find on this webinar that you won't be able to ask questions during the presentation. If you have any questions, please type them in the field on your dashboard, and then I'll field the questions at the end of the webinar. Following the Deputy Secretary General's presentation, I'll be reading the questions, and the Deputy Secretary General will respond to them. We know you're all very busy, so we're going to try to keep this presentation short, but we welcome any follow-up telephone calls or emails following the presentation Q&A. Now, I'm pleased to present Ms. Arjavin Patanampanchai, the Deputy Secretary General of Thailand's Board of Investments. Secretary General?
Yes, good morning, Shira, and good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining our webinar today. Today, I will update with you about the investment outlook of Thailand. This is an outline of my presentations, and I would like to start from the basic information about Thailand. As you might be aware, Thailand, we are in the middle of the Southeast Asia or the ASEAN. We have population about 68 million, and our GDP growth is this year is forecast to be about 389 billion. We are in the upper middle income countries. The GDP growth this year is expected to be around 3.2 to 3.5. But very luckily, on the first half of this year, the GDP growth come out as about 3.2. So we're quite confident that by the end of this year, the total GDP growth should be about 3.5. The tax system in Thailand is very simple. We have the corporate income tax exemption rate at 20% flat, and we have the value-added tax is charged at 7%. And I want to mention that Thailand will play as a major manufacturing base in the global. Many products that we are a leader. For example, the hard disk drive. We are the second largest producer and the exporter of the hard disk drive, which is in the computer parts. Also in the automotive industry. Last year, we produced about 2 million vehicles, so we ran about the 12th largest auto producer. In any way, in the year 2013, at that year, we produced about 2.5 million vehicles, so we are in the number 9. So in automotive sector, I will say that we are around in the top 10. We are quite big in the other products, such as the rubber tie, since we are the major producer of the natural rubber and also the synthetic rubber. And many parts in computer rather than the hard disk drive, the semiconductor, we are the main manufacturing in the world also. I want to mention that we are the Thailand. When you think about Thailand, it's not just only one country. We are the center of the ASEAN hub. In this slide, you can see that we are situated in the heart of the Southeast Asia or ASEAN, and we are surrounded by another big economy such as the Japan, China, South Korea, India, or up to the Pacific Rim like the Australia and New Zealand. So this is Thailand can be a gateway or strategic location that can connect you to all the Asia market. And Thailand itself, we are the member of ASEAN, or the 10 countries together in the Southeast Asia. The ASEAN, we have the free trade agreements, which is already complete. So trade among ASEAN, I will say that 99% of the items that trade intra-ASEAN is duty-free. ASEAN itself is a big market. It's more than 600 million populations, and this is a real emerging regional in the world. Not just only in ASEAN, ASEAN also do have the free trade agreement with our major trade partner, including China, Japan, South Korea, India, Australia, New Zealand. You can see that this is one of the biggest FTA because it accounts for 3.3 billion population, or half of the population in the world. And the strength of Thailand, not just only by geographic location, but we have well-developed regional connectivities, either by the road system that you can see that the road is already finished from southern China, from Kunming down south to Laos to Thailand, and go to Malaysia and Singapore. And also we have the east-west corridor that connect Thailand to Laos, Vietnam, or Cambodia. So the intra-trade, you can use the road network distribution. And also we also have the very big deep sea port that the items can ship by the sea freight. And this is the well connectivity that we already have, and it's very convenient to ship the product around in ASEAN's area. And the government of Thailand is doing more to enhance our infrastructure, especially the logistic network. This government, when they come into the office in the year 2014, they kick off right away the budget for infrastructure development up to 53.4 billion US dollars. You can see that mainly is going to spend to enhance more in the railway system, in the road system, in the mass transit around Bangkok area and the major city, and also for the deep sea port and the airport that is going to expand more and more to accommodate with the economic growth of Thailand. The main area of the government developments in terms of infrastructure enhancement is focused in the eastern part of Bangkok, which we call the Eastern Economic Corridor. You can see that this area, a lot of new development will occur during 5 years ahead, such as the Lam Chabang Deep Sea Port is enhancing to the 3rd phase. Okay, another $1 billion US investment, the double track railway, and also the high-speed train that can connecting from Bangkok to the Rayong, which is a major industrial province of Thailand within and out. And the motorway and the Utapao International Airport is going to be the 3rd international airport of Bangkok. So this enhancement can build the Eastern Economic Corridor to be one of the best and modern special economic zones in ASEAN. Right now in that area is a home or is a hub for many manufacturing, such as automotive industry, such as the plastic industry, or the MRO business. And this is going to enlarge more and more from our existing industrial base. So I can encourage you that the Eastern Economic Corridor is the location that very suitable for any investment and to be a gateway that you can trade the product throughout Asia. Next, I would like to mention about the competitiveness of Thailand. I will mention about the international ranking. This slide can show you that the World Bank that conduct the Ease of Doing Business survey, Thailand this year ranked the 2nd among the easiest country to doing business in the emerging economy in East Asia. And we also have another best ranking in, like for example, the world most promising in energy emerging economies, for example. And then this slide is the study from the Wharton School that present in the World Economic Forum in Davos early this year in January. The surveys that they conduct come out that Thailand is the best country to start a business. Okay, it's the best country for economic potential, and in overall, it's a 6th best country to investment in. And for the overall, in every area, we are the 21 of the best country in the world concerning about doing business. So this can prove that business environment in Thailand is quite international practice and is very efficient in every system. In terms of cost, I would like to mention that we are still very competitive in terms of cost. For example, this is the survey from the CBRE about the office space rental cost, and you cannot believe it. If you've been in Thailand, we are very well developed in terms of Bangkok is a well-developing area, but the office space rental fee is one of the most cheapest in Asia, among the big cities in Asia. Also, the other costs concerning about to conduct the business, such as electricity or the water. I think that we offer very, very competitive costs among our other Asia countries also. And among the about the tax system, as I mentioned before, that Thailand we have the flat corporate income tax rate at 20%. So we are the second lowest from Singapore among ASEAN countries, and the rest of the ASEAN country is about 20 or more. So I would like to say that the tax system in Thailand is quite promote for the business that would like to done in Thailand. Okay, now I would like to move to about what is the government of Thailand offer for the foreign direct investment. The BOI, which is the government agencies, we offer the tax incentive and also another service. This is provide our law that we can grant for the tax incentive is, for example, is import duty exemption for machinery or for the raw material for export business. And the major tax incentive is the corporate income tax exemptions. We can grant the tax holiday up to 8 years. And in some cases, we can provide another 50% reduction for the corporate income tax for another 5 years. And also not just only tax incentive, okay, we provide the service. The main thing that the FDI would like to enjoy from the BOI service is the land ownership. So foreign companies, if they get the BOI promotion, they have right to own land. And another good thing is that we try to accommodate the expat or the executive who come to work in Thailand. So we set up the one-stop service center for work permit and visa. The work permit and visa for expat can grant within 3 hours. So this is one of a kind of the service that the Thai government offer for the investor. And in our policy, to enjoy those tax incentives, we don't have any restriction, and either for the restriction of our shareholder. So it means that you can have 100% foreign share. We never have the local content requirements or the export requirement. But I will say that many companies choose Thailand to be a production base for exports. The way that you can enjoy the tax incentive. We grant the tax incentive according to activities, according to the technology levels or the value of activities. So we focus on the high-tech, high-value added activity. In the group of A1, which can enjoy 8-year tax holiday and no ceilings, you can see that this is a group of activity that mostly is creativity, such as the microelectronic designs or embedded system, or the software, or the R&D, the lab service, calibrations, and including some of the manufacturing like the aerospace or the MRO. The waste to energy is our focus, and energy saving is in this group also. This is just an example to show you that we promote the wide range of sector, either agro-business until the service sector. In the group of A2, which can enjoy the 8-year tax holiday also, you can see that it is including many things. Mostly is a manufacturing sector that use high technology, such as telecommunications, such as the high-risk medical device, or the bioproduct like bioplastic, biofuel, medical food, or the nanomaterial or something like that. In the group of A3, I just want to show that there are some of the business that can enjoy up to 5-year tax holiday. It's example of many electrical appliances, the selected auto part, the semiconductor, the metal forming such as the forging or casting or something like that. And this is food processing is still under our BOI promoted that can enjoy 5 years. And the A4 is a 3 years tax holiday, and it's including many electrical products, pulp and paper, jewelry, okay, metal, like the heat treatments or tourism-related business, and also many kind of the logistics service provider like airline, international distribution center is in the list of the BOI promotion. So as I mentioned, that is confirmed that the BOI still promote the wide range of activity that you can enjoy the incentive from the BOI. This is an example of the US company that already have the success story in Thailand. Our customer is maybe backward, like Dow Chemical. I think that Dow Chemical will celebrate 50 years in Thailand next year. And we have all the sector like electronics, like Western Digital, Seagate, Microsoft. We have the from food like Kellogg, Cargill, Cardinal Health that make the medical device, or the automotive industry like Ford and GM. I want to mention, for example, one of the latest of the company that set up in Thailand is Caterpillar. Caterpillar set up the factory in Thailand last 4 years. The product that they make is the underground mining tractor, and is 400% export because we don't have underground mining. So Caterpillar production is export to Australia, export to Peru, export to South Africa or something like that. This is to confirm that most of the company that you see right now is select Thailand to be their global production base. Now, we would like to provide another mention about the government policy that is the latest one that's just announced at the end of this last year. That policy is called the incentive for the cluster development. The government aims to enhance more in the sector that we are strong, such as automotive, electronics, or the polymer. And at the same time, we want to promote another sector that we see is a new S-curve, and we have the strong fundamental, such as the digital, aerospace, automation and robotics, or the medical hub, which is including the service and the medical device, and also about the food Innopolis for make the high value added food products. So the province that show is a province that already have the cluster there, already have the university, the education training center. So combined with this focus sector and this area focus, you can enjoy the maximum tax incentive from Thailand Board of Investment. You can enjoy 8-year tax holiday and additional 5 year of 50% reduction of the year 9 to the year 13. And also the Thai government offer another additional incentive, which is negotiation based. It means that if your project is very high tech, very important to the economic development of the country, you may enjoy up to the 10 or 15 years of tax holiday. And also for those high tech activity, the government set up the matching the fund we call the competitiveness development funds is another about 280 million US dollars. This is a matching grant to support investor in terms of the research and development or training. So this kind of additional tax incentive can provide to any project that is significant important to the countries. To enjoy those incentives, they have just only 2 conditions by the sector that I just mentioned and the locations. And another 2 criteria is about time frame. The project that want to enjoy that incentive package, they have to submit application to the BOI by the end of this year. So it means that if the investor have a business plan in those sector, I think that you have to rush and the application should submit within this year and start operation of the service within next year. In any way, if it's a very big project, we can have the flexibility for the time frame. Okay. And another criteria is that you have to have collaboration with academic institute or with research institute to develop human resource as you need. This is a win-win strategy because your company can guarantee that you have or you can get the human resource that have the skill sets as you need. And Thailand, we already developed many systems to work, collaborate with the private or the industrial. We have the talent mobility that allow the PhD, a scholarship student to come to work in the company. We have the work integrated learning system, cooperative educations, or the world system. So this is quite very famous that the industrial or the private sector can collaborate with the academic institute and to provide or build the skill sets of the graduate or student to fit in with your requirements. So this is the two main conditions for any project that want to enjoy the supercluster incentive. And the last of my presentation will cover about another investment promotion policies of the Thai government. The Thai government want to enhance the Thailand from only manufacturing base to be a trading nation. So they launched the policy to promote international headquarters or the international trading center. International headquarters is mean that if you set up the company in Thailand and provide the service to your branch of that enterprise in the world, only country outside Thailand where you can qualify to be international headquarters. The service is in many forms, either the admin or business monitoring, the HR, training, payroll system, business advisory, technical support, marketing and sales activities, and either credit management. The government already add the Treasury Center to be one of the activity under the international headquarters. And I will say that the Bank of Thailand released most of the regulatory to accommodate for the foreign company to use Thailand to set up the Treasury Center in Thailand. It means that you can carry foreign currencies from your subsidiary branch, carry it in Thailand up to 500 million US dollars, something like that. And also the activity that just add in for this international headquarter principle last year is including the trading center. So if the company in Thailand provide purchasing and the product is produced outside Thailand and sell to outside Thailand, that we call out. So the product no need to be in Thailand, okay? But the Thailand office manage all either sourcing, global insurance, warehousing, or delivery service or something like that. This trade that the product is from outside and delivered to the market outside Thailand can count as an international trading center. And those international headquarters or international trading center, they can enjoy the corporate income tax exemptions from any service, from any either the capital gains or something like that up to 15 years. And also if you service to the subsidiary company in Thailand, that income from your subsidiary company in Thailand can enjoy 10 years of the corporate income tax, 10% of the corporate income tax exemption. And as I said that for the trading either purchase or good sell and buys for the product that is out, that margin can enjoy the tax holiday also. Also, the expat who work under the international headquarters, the expat can enjoy the personal income tax flat rate at 50%. Okay, and many other related tax is waived for international headquarters. This is the reason that many of the companies that show in this slides is already set up the international headquarters in Thailand. I will say that 14 of them set up the Treasury Center, and many of them have a workforce more than 1,000. So Thailand is one of the international headquarter location in the world also. I want to mention, I'm sorry that I catch cold, but I want to end my presentation to say that we are ready to service for US investors. So we have office in New York and in Los Angeles. Please feel free to contact us. And at the headquarters in Bangkok, we are ready to serve you also. Thank you very much. So Shara, I think that we are quite ready for the Q&A. I'm not sure that is have any question that come out. Hi, Shara.
Secretary General. We've had a couple of questions come in. The first one that came in was, do you have any formal workforce training programs to assist foreign manufacturers?
Yes, I will say that we have the Thai government set up many of the training center in specific area, such as we have the Thai-German Institute that provide training for automotive industry, like any kind of the metal forming that can be sized. We have the Thailand software development agency of the SIPA that provide training for about the software or programmer, something like that. So the government do provide this kind of training, specific training for the workforce.
Okay, great. Another question that came in was, can you explain a little bit about the investment the Thai government is making in infrastructure? And there's a second part to the question. How will this improved infrastructure benefit foreign direct investors?
Yes, I can say that although Thailand we are one of the best well-developed infrastructure in Southeast Asia, but the Thai government will enhance it more. So it means that logistics, either in the country or logistics with in ASEAN or in other around the world, going to be more convenient. You can see that the enhance of the land supply visit for the third phase is going to enlarge more for the port, so the export. The Suvarnabhumi airport is expand for their second terminal, and also another airport like Utapao Airport, which is near Pattaya, going to turn to be the real commercial airport. So and the rail is one of the most important things. Right now, most of the product is shipped by the road network, but if we have the rail system transport the goods, I will say that the cost is much cheaper. So this is the thing that I said that is another next 7 years that you can see all is done in Thailand.
Great. We have one that came in and it says, how easy is it to secure working visas for foreign executives and their spouses in Thailand?
Oh, as I said, that we are aware of this issue, and we are very welcome executive and expat to come to work in Thailand. So why Thai government by the BOI, aside the BOI to be set up one-stop service for work permit and visa, I mentioned already. So we work with the immigrations and or the labor department. So the service is very easy, and you know that the process is done online right now in the BOI. So you just submit all the document online, and the work permit and visa can grant in 3 hours. But you have to show your face.
Another question is, do you have any policies or incentives that you'll be introducing, things that are in the pipeline that you can predict might be coming?
Oh, I will say that I think last 12 months the government of Thailand launched many things. The cluster, okay, the National Trading Center. I think that I hear that we may launch some policy to encourage the high-tech items that to set up in Thailand. For example, we are under study about the electric vehicle policy, how to encourage the electric vehicle to use Thailand as a production base. This is an example.
Okay. Which country are you seeing most of your foreign direct investment come from?
Mainly, I will say that major investor, foreign investor to Thailand is Japanese, is always okay. And then we see the growth of the Chinese investment to Thailand. the Chinese investment or the investment from China will catch up Japanese soon, and then I think US is going to be number 4 or something like that. Yeah, and ASEAN itself, like Singapore, Malaysia, we have big investment intra-ASEAN also.
Okay. We have time for one more question. I'm waiting to see if any come up. One of the things about electricity and the cost of electricity for high electricity demand projects like data centers. Have you seen a lot of activity from data center operations?
Yes, we just opened the data center last year. Last 2 years, I'm sorry. We already promote 5 projects. I think the first project, which is a very big one, is the investment come from US. It's a joint venture between the Supernap and the Thai business. So this kind of the world standard or the state of the art data center in set up in Thailand is almost finished, as you know. The point to support the data center, I will say that electricity is the major. Thailand have very, very good and strong in terms of electricity services. We never have any problem either the brownout or something at all. We secure the quality of the electricity and the stabilities. So for the important activity like data center or many other like petrochemical or refineries, most of the industrial estate that they locate in industrial estate, and most of the industrial estate have their we call the small power plant to provide in-house electricity, and the electricity from grid is going to be the standby. So it have 2 sources of electricity supply, so why the production is quite smooth.
Great. I don't have any more questions. Are there any things you'd like to say in summary?
Yeah, I think by the end, I want to mention that if you want to learn about the political situation in Thailand, I will say that we are very on the roadmap. The result from the referendum on August 7 is clearly show that the people in Thailand want to have elections soon, and the business and industrial sector have a very positive about the business climate in Thailand. And by the government roadmap, I think that we're going to have the general election by next year for sure.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Deputy Secretary General. And also, I'd like to encourage all of you on the webinar. You'll see the contact information for each of the Board of Investment offices in both in Bangkok and in the U.S. Please follow up with any questions you have. Please feel free to make a telephone call and speak with some of the representatives from BOI.
Yes. And before end, I just want to mention again that we have office in the U.S. That's ready to talk or to discuss with you. So feel free to contact our 2 office either in New York or in Los Angeles. Okay. Then then you can reach us by email to Bangkok office also.
Great. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.